Hello again. We are still in Gransell Castle, kind of walking around exploring, trying to catch up with everybody we run into. I haven't found Hilda yet, and I haven't gone up to the garden terrace yet. I will be doing those things shortly. But for now, I just want to make sure we walk around and fully explore the castle before the story continues. The head chef is a real pro, specializing in imperial cuisine. Over 1,000 dishes of it, in fact. He's simply amazing. That is impressive. The main course is complete. Once dinner is ready, we'll make sure everyone knows. And until then, your patience is greatly appreciated. The rat problem around here is starting to get out of control. I can't stand rats either, so this really sucks for me. I really didn't need to hear that there are rats in the kitchen. Not something I wanted to know. I'm looking for Hilda. I thought she would be near where the rest of the maids were. But apparently not. Okay. Apparently she's not going to be that easy to find. Haven't gone this direction yet. With so few people, we can't possibly finish all this work. All the other officials were sent away on vacation by the Duke and forcibly removed from the castle. This is the administrative room. This is where most of the actual ruling of Liberl takes place. With Her Majesty ill, we're taking orders from the Duke. Okay, so now I think the only place I haven't explored is going up. This is why I didn't walk up here before. I knew it was going to result in a cutscene. Well, minor cutscene. That is a beautiful terrace. Oh wow, check that out. This must be the castle's garden terrace. I'd say so. You can see the whole lake from here, and it overlooks the town too. Must be great for reconnaissance. Of course he thinks of reconnaissance. And my brain immediately went to, like, perfect date location. As nice as this is, we really don't have time to stop and enjoy it. We've got a job to do. I was like, oh, that would be an adorable place for them to sit and have their conversation. And Josh was like, reconnaissance! I swear. Boys and their spy missions. Okay, that's gonna head off towards the Queen, I'm sure. I'm not allowed to go there. But I will anyway. This is a huge rooftop. Oh, this must be the royal keep. Yeah, I'd say so. Who are you? Hey, you two. We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives? Of course it is. But for the last few days, she hasn't been feeling so well. She's not seeing anyone right now. Oh, you've got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were to even take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep here as well? No, it's just... Hey! The princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you. Might I inquire as to what's going on here? Madam, we didn't know you were back already. The dinner party will be starting soon, so I will be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests? They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a bracer's social standing would even be invited here. A bracer's social standing? Such discourtesy! You would insult those who were personally invited to the royal castle? No, that's not... Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that. Understood. Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is. But madam, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasons that the Colonel laid out. Yes, I'm quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I am terribly sorry, sir and madam. Security has been heightened, and as such, the royal keep and its surroundings are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine. We'll do as you ask. I apologize. We weren't trying to cause any trouble. Fine then. Just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you. I apologize that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I am the head maid of Grancel Castle, and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. Aha! We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well, someone told us about you. I know this handwriting. You see? We also have our bracer emblems and identification with us. I see. Please come with me to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct? Right. If now's not a good time, we can try later, but... No, it's not an issue. But those special ops men have had the royal keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in. Which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the professor's message to Her Majesty. No, I'd really rather speak to her face-to-face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we'd really need to discuss directly. Like what Duke Doonan and Colonel Richard are after. Estelle and Joshua, I have a bit of an idea. Could I get you to return here once the dinner party is over? Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the dinner party? Awesome. Understood, we'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in your room. Okay, so where am I and how did I get here? Oh, like the one room I didn't walk into. Didn't even see this door over here. It blends in with the wall. Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know. Sorry, we got so caught up in sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all the mayors. Huh. Well, aren't we well connected? We're close friends with the mayor of Roland. Plus, we've met the other mayors in the course of our travels. Ah, I see. I guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two sure get around for junior bracers. Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Grancel? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right? Right. For a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad. Normally that would be enough to handle most cases, I'd imagine. But with all of them concentrated in Grancel, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions. Yeah, could be. Ugh, I feel like a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Shira back in Roland. Now, that name rings a bell. You wouldn't happen to be talking about Shirazard, would you? You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages. Oh, okay. Makes sense. I met her a long time ago when a case brought her to Calvard. She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age. Master? Yeah, probably Dad. Please, pardon me. The table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way? Sure, I was getting bored with waiting anyhow. Alright, wanna go and eat fancy? Sure, that fight left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates then? Plenty of knives and forks, though. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything's come out in a specific order, starting with the hors d'oeuvres. Then you use the knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners? And here comes the anxiety attack. It's really not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Indeed, indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks. Okay, I thought she was calling him like a barbarian who was going to eat with his hands. No, she was actually being courteous. Okay. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in when in liberal, do as the Liberalians do policy. I'm not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion. You flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's more being polite than a lech, though. Anyway, his grace is really late. I wonder what he's up to. Indeed. So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for? Colonel Richard? Perhaps it is intended for Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. Ah, Philip. Presenting His Grace the Duke. Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, Commanding Officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by the Honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. Have you seen what Estelle's wearing? I think you're good. You've gotta be kidding. We're having dinner with him? I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving. Excellent, excellent. What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Grancel Castle's Master Chef? Is his cooking not on par with that found in Bose's Anteros restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. You are not the first to say such things. And what of you? Zin, wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. It's a very good thing that Olivier isn't here. And you, young bracers? I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's extremely delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Indeed, it is a genuine treat. I was gonna say you didn't notice that. It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before, during the Rouen incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir, maybe so. So he'd forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him? Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Very good thing Olivier isn't here. Your Grace, if we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first. Ah yes, that's a fine idea. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I use this celebration as the place to make an important announcement. I'm very nervous about this announcement. An announcement? And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Ah, that's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebrations will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely that is not all you wish to tell us. Right. If that were all, you could have just sent along a message. Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover, as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Son of a biscuit. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunan. What? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, the conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits. Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? I can't read. Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Grace at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that, as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then? The issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stave off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Grace. Well, yes, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Erebonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebrations. But you thought it would be best to inform us first so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct? I'm glad to see that we have an understanding. If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age. And I must say I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose such responsibility upon a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. If that happens, then we'll have 2 major events to celebrate. I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question? Zin? I don't mind. Speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you'd want outsiders hearing, particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now? That is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are on just as good of terms as the stories say. That is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we've learned here to the guild then. Man, I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I mean, I'm a foreigner after all, so it's not that big of a deal for me. I bet that was huge news for you guys, though. Of course it was. I can't believe things have gone this far already. Never mind. But really, what a shame. The food was so amazing, and it practically melted in the mouth. Couldn't tell what that last flavor was, though. Understandable enough. But anyway, did you want to go for a walk to work off some of that rich food, Estelle? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I could go for a little bit of fresh air. You just played tourist a little while ago, and now you want to take an after-dinner walk? I sure don't get it. Must be a local thing. I think you're exaggerating a little bit. You haven't gone out to take in the sights? There's a lot of historic architecture around here, you know. If the mood hits me, I may still give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some food left over. You've got to be kidding. You're still hungry? If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt up a bar or something in a little bit. No wonder he and Olivia get along so well. Good God. Okay, we're going to stop this one right here, and then in the next episode we will go talk to Hilda and hopefully sneak in to see the Queen. There's going to be a lot more story bits coming up pretty soon here, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you next time.